Hello and welcome back to another episode of this week's watches. It's actually episode 25, so thank you all very much for following me along this journey. It's been a lot of fun, and I want to say a big thank you as always for another incredible week. You guys and girls as always are keeping me very busy, and you're offering me a lot of watches, and I do appreciate it, so keep that coming. I do want to say the new releases that have come out from Basel, some of them have been very great, and some of them I'm not so keen on. I'm not going to do a video on it unless you guys and girls really want me to, but I do want to say one thing: the latest Tudor releases, I think they're great, the 925 and the Chronos, but I want to state something here that I've stated on Instagram, and I'm stating to everyone offering me one. I've been offered over 10 of the silver 925s already, and over 5 of the Chronos of each colour, so over 10 again, which is crazy considering the watch has only been out a week or two now. So I want to say thank you for offering me them. Keep offering me other watches, but the silver and the chrono I'm not going to touch for at least a couple of weeks. The reason being, there is so many being offered out, not just to me but to other dealers, that I think the prices are just going to, they should correct really, the prices over retail. And I will say what I always say: Tudor is not an investment out of retail. Tudor is not Rolex, and what I mean by that is Rolex will see that everyone wants a Daytona, but they won't increase production. They'll keep it where it is. They won't meet the demand, right? Whereas Tudor will. Tudor will see the increased purchases of the 925, and they will hear about the wait list and everything like that, and Tudor will stop production of other watches that aren't selling too well, the Advisor or whatever else it may be, the new Datejust ones, apologies, the Royal I think it's called. They will stop production of those, or at least change a couple of the chairs from production of those to the production of the 925s or the Chronos, so they will meet demand. So we've seen it before with the bronze, with the 58, with the 58 blue, with the GMT. All these watches out the gate were trading over retail, and very quickly supply was increased and demand was met, and the prices now are under retail where they should be for pre-owned or grey market. So to those of you wanting to flip, I mean, don't let it go to someone else if I was you, because it's just, Tudor's Tudor, right? It's not Rolex. And for those of you thinking about paying over retail, don't. Just be patient. Give it a couple of months, maybe even a year at most, for the really desirable ones, and they will be available. So just be patient. So now we've got that little rant out the way. Apologies if you didn't enjoy that. We're going to crack on with the watches here, and we've got an incredible selection for you. As you can see, I'm stuck behind a mountain of boxes of some really great offerings. You can see we've got a beautiful limited edition Speedmaster, the new Cartier Santos Blue, a very awesome Panerai, and some vintage pieces which we're going to be taking a look at. Now, as always, if you want to skip the rambling and go to a specific watch you see on the table, you can do so via the description. There is a timestamp. Just click on that and it will take you to that watch. There's also a link to every single watch you see on the table. It will take you to the website. You'll see the prices, all the extra photos and all the details. Now we are back open here in the UK. We can do appointment here in our office in Clerkenwell, so do book an appointment if you want one. So there were more watches than this, and as always, you guys and girls are buying them before they even get to the website. So if you're not already following us on Instagram, be sure to follow us there at Kibble Watches. We showcase each watch before it goes live, and we've got some really interesting stuff coming up, so make sure you are following. Now, what is on wrist? I'm wearing my personal Cartier Santos B mid-size automatic, and I'm wearing it on a strap Taylor strap. It's a grey blue ostrich, and it looks absolutely incredible. He makes incredible straps, and he's also on the TV and all over the London Underground. So there you go, a famous strap maker. But without any further ado, let's go into the watches, and I guess we're going to have to start with the really awesome Omega Speedmaster. So starting with one of my favourite Omega Speedmasters. Now you're going to have to forgive the stickers on this one. This is a unworn watch, still stickers on the back, still stickers on the clasp, and we're going to keep it that way so the new owner has a truly unworn watch. And here it is in detail. So for those of you who know your Omegas, you're going to know exactly what this is. This is the limited edition Omega Speedmaster Trilogy 1957, based on the original Speedmaster from 1957, and they have done it so true to the original, it is incredible. 38.5mm case, which is perfect, and obviously you've got a steel bezel, the arrow hands, and they've even recreated the faux lume on the dial, as you can see, and the hands. It looks really good. Beautiful pump pushers, beautiful bracelet. and lugs, and very, very nice clasp as well. Very well done. This overall is probably one of the nicest Speedmasters in my personal opinion, and one I would love to own someday personally in the collection as well. Now, as always with Amiga, the reference is unnecessarily long, so go over to the website to see that. Beating away in here is the manually wound caliber 1861, which is the basic manually wound Amiga Speedmaster movement that used to be in the watch before they've upgraded it to the new coaxial. Stop, start, reset, as you would expect. No date again, which is really, really good. And it does come on its bracelet. It comes with its full box and paperwork from 2017, and the box is their sort of elaborate box for the special edition, and it comes with the extra straps as you would expect as well. And as we spoke on dimensions, let's show it on wrist. So here we are on wrist, and what a beautifully proportioned watch this is. Amiga really knocked it out of the park, and I wish they offered something like this just as standard. I know they do the bigger coaxial one, but it's not quite the same. It's far bigger. This is 38.5mm by 48mm lug to lug, 13.5mm thick, and 19mm lug. So a bit awkward on the lug size, but it does come with the extra straps from factory, which is always good, and obviously the really comfortable, really well done bracelet. A really gorgeous watch, and one I don't think will last long at all, so keep an eye out for it on the website, and if it's still there, I'd say snap it up, because these do not come up often. Sticking to limited edition, let's go over to this IWC. Now onto another virtually unworn watch, again with the stickers still on the crystal and on the case back as well. This is a beautiful IWC Pilot Chronograph, celebrating the 150 years of IWC, and it's a limited edition by them from 2018, or at least that's when this model was sold, September 2018. It's a limited edition of 1000 watches, and it is a gorgeous, gorgeous watch. The reference is IW377725, and inside, as you can probably tell by the layout, is their IWC automatic caliber 79320 based on a Value 7750. So not quite an in-house movement, but still it means the cost of service is brought down because obviously it's not the in-house movements. Signed crown as you'd expect, which is screw down, and a really, really stunning dial. That white lacquered dial, it's had many layers of lacquer as you can see. It looks almost enameled, really, really beautiful, and thermally blued hands which look black in most lights, but then when you catch the light they just shine blue. Really, really stunning, beautiful design, and one of the nicest IWCs. We've got it paired on its original strap, original buckle. It does come with its full box and paperwork, as you would expect as well. Now, let's talk dimensions, because IWCs are not small watches, and here it is on my 6 3/4 inch wrist, and you will be surprised by how well this wears. It is 43mm by 53mm lug to lug, 15.5mm thick, and 21mm lugs. Now, the fact that these are 21mm lugs really brings the size of the strap down, in my opinion, and the fact it tapers so much as well. I think if you've got a smaller wrist and you really like the design, don't disregard this watch. I think it will surprise you, and if you've got a bigger wrist, you're going to be more than fine with this. Really beautiful case design and nice finishing as well, as you'd expect from IWC. And as always with IWC, really stunning dials. Something I've noticed on them, they always have incredible dials and great attention to detail. So go check out the macros, go see this one in more detail, and the price will probably surprise you. As I'm wearing a Santos, let's have a look at the Cartier Santos. Now to a watch that seriously surprised me, the new 2019 Cartier Santos de Cartier Blue. So a really, really gorgeous watch, and I am a big fan of Cartier Santos, as you know, because I have a mid-size Gal B, and this is a lot bigger, a lot bigger. And if anything, I thought far too big when I first saw it. For the design and the shape of the case and what I perceived the Santos to be, this is not what I thought it should be. You know, this is not a Cartier Santos in my eyes, but I was so incredibly wrong. And after putting this watch on wrist and just in the bracelet via these quick and easy links that I'll show you in a second as well, I was amazed and blown away by it on wrist, and it actually completely changed my mind, and we'll get into that in a second. But as you can see, beautiful gloss blue dial, those polished Roman numerals. Got that beautiful polished bezel, and it does come on its bracelet. Blue cabochon sapphire crown, as you'd expect. Now the reference for this one, there's two references for pretty much the same watch. So it's WSSA 0013 or WSSA 0030. So those are the references, and beating away inside here is the automatic Cartier caliber 1847 MC, a very good reliable movement with a date. Now let's talk about the bracelet. You have a hidden clasp right here with the push buttons to open. Very, very easy, and you can see it's still got a sticker on the back there as well. Now, the bracelet does feature quick adjust links. So right here, there's a little bar, and let's see if I can demonstrate this live on camera, whilst also trying to get it in focus. You push it down, like so. If I actually get the right bit, there we go. And then the bar will pop out, and you can pull it up all the way, and then the link comes apart like that. And to put it back in, obviously you do that to the next link, to the next bar, and then you can take that whole link out and you push it back in, and it basically pushes in like so. It's a lot easier when you haven't got a camera in your face, but there you go. Nice and easy. And it's the same with the quick release lugs. You push this and out it pops, and then you can push it back in, and once it's in, it's not going anywhere, so you haven't got to worry about the security of that. And this watch does come with its box and paperwork from December 2019, and it comes with the blue Cartier strap as well as the bracelet, so you get both options. So as we touched on size, let's show it here on wrist. So here it is on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. Now, is it bigger than the mid-size? 100%. It is a lot bigger, but it still wears incredibly and surprisingly well. In my opinion, 38mm by 47.5mm, and that cushion case makes it draw into the wrist far better. Only 9.5mm thick, so it sits incredibly low on the wrist, and 21mm lugs. Really well proportioned, really beautifully finished. I mean, those chamfers and the edges, the way they catch the light. I mean, this is Cartier at its best. They know what they are doing when it comes to design, there's no question. So a really surprising watch, and for the price, I think it is a hell of a watch. For what you get, so go check it out. And the final modern watch on the table, let's take a look at the Panerai. So a brand that everyone knows for their diving history, and rightfully so. It is an incredible history. Panerai, a really beautiful and well designed watch, definitely aesthetically and also construction wise. I mean, the fact of this crown guard and what it did and revolutionized diving for the military is absolutely incredible, and this is the modern interpretation of that with all the bells and whistles you'd expect from a modern watch. So this is the Panerai Luminor Marina 1950 3 days movement. The reference is PAM PAM 00312, and beating away inside, as you saw, that really beautifully designed movement is a Panerai caliber 9 P9000, which, as I said, is a 3-day automatic movement, so you get a hell of a lot for your money. And obviously the crown guard opens like that. You can wind if you need to and set the time and everything and push it down, and off you go. You're backwater sealed. Really, really beautiful design. Brushed case, polished bezel, on a black alligator strap. It does also come with a black rubber strap in its box, and it does come with its full box and papers from 2015, February 2015 to be exact. So let's talk about size, because Panerai are big watches and they are supposed to be big watches. They were never really intended to be small little dainty watches. This is 44mm by 53.5mm lug to lug, 18mm thick and 24mm lugs. All of that on paper sounds mahoosive, and it is a big watch, but I've got to be honest, Panerai know what they're doing when it comes to shaping for the wrist. The square cushion case wears incredibly well, and it always brings the size down and sort of compresses it on the wrist, and those short stubby lugs, again, just slope the strap straight off and straight down onto your wrist. Let me see if I can catch that and get it in the right place where it would actually be on my wrist. There you go. So you can see it comes straight off the lugs and down. So it does wear very, very comfortably despite the big size. Now, personally, I'd be wearing it actually on my right wrist, just because I prefer Panerais on this wrist. We've had a few in stock, but they are very, very comfortable despite the size, and it will surprise you. So go check this one out. Now we've got all the modern out of the way, let's go on to vintage, and we've got two really awesome electronic watches, and we're going to start with my favourite, the Universal Geneve. So a brand that is growing in popularity, what feels like daily at the moment, and rightfully so. I think they create some absolutely incredible watches. Everyone is very much laser focused on the Universal Geneve pole rotors, and again, rightfully so, designed by Gerard Genter. A lot of history in those models, but they are not paying attention to the other offerings that Universal Geneve have, in my opinion, and the Unisonic is one of them. Definitely not one to pass by. This is a 1968 to 1969 Unisonic, which puts it sort of right at the period where these were taking height. Obviously, the Bulliver made movements, and this is a Bulliver made movement for Universal Geneve, under Universal Geneve caliber 1-52. Very, very good, very reliable movement, and one of the very first that Bulliver ever made. And it's quite interesting that Bulliver was sort of the key players in this in this electronic tuning fork style movement. But this one we have is a reference 852100/01. Lots of numbers there, but the important thing is the design. You've got this really gorgeous creamy eggshell dial with those lovely hands, central black seconds, and just really nice overall design. You've got a date over there. The case, again, really beautifully chamfered. It has been refinished professionally, so it's not like crisp sharp as it once was, but then again, it's done very well. And a universal Geneve crown as well. Signed screw down case back, and we've got it paired on this unusual strap, which I think looks really good on this watch. I've had a couple of these straps for a while, and I was sort of waiting for the perfect watch for this to go on, and I think I found it. Now let's talk dimensions and show it here on wrist. As you can see, it wears really well. I mean, after the big watches we just shown, you know, this is more to my personal size that I would wear, but it's 33.5mm by 36mm lug to lug, so very short on those lugs, 11mm thick and 19mm lug width, so 19mm straps. And you know, for me, this is really beautiful. I think it wears really well. Don't be put off by that short lug to lug. I mean, on the 19mm strap, it's a bit thicker than obviously an 18mm, and it does give it more presence, and it does make it wear very well. But a really gorgeous watch, and one I don't think will stick around long. Now on to the gorgeous Longines. Sticking to tuning forks and going from an Ultrasonic to a Ultronic. There you go. That is a mouthful. But a Longines Ultronic date from circa 1974. A really stunning example. Beautiful dial, very clean and original. You can see you've got those red highlights, you've got those lume plots, you've got the date over there. It is very nicely done, and those indices sit super proud on the dial and add so much depth. You can tell this is a time period where things were changing. You know, they were experimenting with movements that were so revolutionary and so modern that they just had to do the same to design, and they tested out new things, and this is a clear example of that, and something they did very well in my opinion. A very nice example. You've got signed crown, everything like that you'd expect, applied logo, nice stick lugs, and I think it just works really well. And you can see the second hand sweeping there. So inside this is the Longines tuning fork caliber 6312, which is basically an ESA 9162 movement, a very reliable adaptation and interpretation of obviously what Bulliver were doing. ESA did a lot of them as well. So a very good and reliable movement, and obviously we've had it serviced, so it comes with our warranty, and that's important with these. You will find them cheaper than what we're offering, but I guarantee you they probably are not serviced. They probably just had a new battery, and these movements can be a nightmare and need a specialist to work on. And here it is on wrist, a very nice size. So slightly bigger than the Universal Geneve. It is 35mm by 42mm lug to lug, 11mm thick and 18mm lugs. We've got it paired on this nice sort of red burgundy brown strap. Really nice. Great proportions for the age, and I think it looks really good. It gives all the illusion of a vintage automatic watch, but with the accuracy and the sort of quirkiness of early quartz. So really cool. And the final watch on the table, the CWC G10. And last but certainly not least, we have a Fat Boy. Now, before you all get mad at me for being mean, that is what this watch is nicknamed. It is a CWC G10 Fat Boy, and the reason being it had a different movement from 1980 to 1983. I believe those are the dates, and it made it thicker. So there you go, that is why this is called a Fat Boy, but really cool watch. This is from 1982, and these are proper military issued British watches. You can see all of the engraving on the back, and this is right as we would have been fighting the Falklands War, so quite an interesting watch, and likely would have been worn on the wrist of someone. We obviously don't know for sure, but these were issued. These were part of the military uniform. Basically, they were given one of these watches. So a really cool watch. You can see it's got tritium with the big T in the circle, and I think these are some of the final affordable military watches around, and they're starting to go up in price quite aggressively year on year, to be honest, and I don't see it slowing down, especially with the increase in price overall with quartz watches. But a really cool watch. ESA movement circa 1982. The reference of the watch is W10, but they're called the G10. Very gorgeous watch. Let's show it on wrist. So here we are. Now, as it is a thicker watch, it does give more of a presence on the wrist. It's 35mm by 41.5mm, 13mm thick and 19mm lugs. A really, really great design, great watch, and perfect for those who love military watches, and maybe for those who are after a military watch that isn't going to break the bank, because this one is priced very fairly for what it is. So go check it out. So there you have it, guys and girls. That is this week's drop. A awesome selection, a varied selection, from modern to vintage, from sort of not too cheap to fairly affordable, and everything in between. As always, that's what we try and provide you, guys and girls. Now, as of the time of recording this video, these are all available, but I suspect one or two may be sold by the time this actually airs Saturday morning. So do head over to the website, see what's available, and don't forget to see all the other stock we have. We have some incredible things in stock, ranging again in price massively, aged massively. And if you want a specific watch, if you have the money ready in your bank account to commit to a certain watch, one that you've been wanting, one you've tried on, one you know you want for definite, get in contact, let me know what it is, and let us source it for you. As long as you're ready to purchase, we can find it. So there you have it, guys and girls. That is this week's drop. We will see you all again in episode 26 next week. Take care, look after yourself.